Elaine Thompson Herah makes boss moves in heats. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Now go ahead, please. Hit the subscribe button so we can continue to grow. When you do that, go in and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops, which is about once a day here on Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit that like button. And finally, leave your comments. After this sports analysis where we take a look at and we break down the races, then we take a look at your comments. So stay until the end. You just might hear from yourself. When you're ready? Yep, good to go. Full disclosure, the rights to broadcast this particular function, the national trials, is held by a private company. We have no access to this. If we attempt to show you these clips, we will get a strike and or could lose our YouTube channel. So there'll be no clips of the actual heat race. Have to be honest with you people, I respect you all, so I have to tell you the truth. Now, let us have a conversation about the boss, Elaine Thompson Herah. Now, for any of you who have ever played video games, you know that in many video games, there is a boss level that you have to get to. If you defeat the boss, you either win, and if you don't win, you move on to the next level. To us here at Peter Lloyd World, the way she executed this heat was an absolute boss level run. Elaine Thompson Herah, as one would expect, was composed throughout the entire run, got a solid start. Her drive race was solid, and by I'd say the 70-meter mark, eased herself away from the rest of the pack, Natasha Morris following. And she shut down at least 10 meters out, so she basically, I'd say, ran full out for maybe, not even ran full out, she ran for maybe about 10 to 15 meters. But it was just an absolutely dominant sort of run. Really boss level. Look, this is still the lady to beat in our opinion. She looked so calm, so composed throughout. She really looked as if she was just on a little training mission. It was just remarkable. Elaine Thompson Herah won in a time of 11.06 with Natasha Morris running a season's best of 11.10 to qualify for the semi-finals. Look people, it's very simple. Elaine Thompson is only concerned about getting to the semi-finals and then the finals. So there was absolutely no reason for her to make any excessive effort. And we just thought this was a boss move. I mean, it was brilliantly calculated. Why extend energy that you don't need to extend? Just, because running these races is also about managing your rounds. And there are 3 rounds. So I thought this was absolutely brilliant. Let's take a look at her fastest race thus far for the season. Her Prefontaine Classic, where she won that 10.79. Clearly, I meant to say where she ran that 10.79. Elaine Thompson Herah won comfortably in a time of... To say that this final coming up in later this afternoon is going to be fire is an absolute understatement. One could almost say it's the equivalent of what's going to happen in the World Athletic Championships in Eugene, Oregon in the next month. Because people, looking at the stats in terms of what's been happening in the United States, we have the top 3 fastest women. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind. Elaine Thompson Herah, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and Shericka Jackson will be battling for that gold medal. I can't see anyone else who can possibly interject in the process. It has to be these 3 women. And the way that Elaine Thompson Herah executed this particular heat, it was brilliant. As I said earlier, why extend energy that you do not need to extend? The idea is to manage rounds and get into the finals with the most, stuff in your legs, She was brilliant. And the way she's been executing throughout the entire season, she's been running all sub 11s. She's looked very, very easy to me. She did complain of having a shoulder injury at one point, but in all the races I've seen no indication of that shoulder injury. She looks great, and I am, like yourselves, anxious to see how she'll perform in the semifinals a little later tonight. Now, you might not be aware of this, but in the semifinals, she will be facing off with Sharika Jackson and Kemba Nelson. I think that's going to be a very, very interesting run, because both ladies are... Let's just see what happens, people. But I expect that semifinals to be the hotter of the two semifinals. In the other semifinals, I believe it's Brianna Williams and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. And we are not sure here at Peter Lloyd World if Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce will turn up. Look, it's just a hunch or a gut instinct, people. I'm not telling you that I've heard anything, and if she does turn up, I'll be very happy. But the way Elaine Thompson Herah executed this says to me that she is more than ready, and there's a whole lot more in the gas tank. In fact, the way that she has been managing her entire season, I believe, has been extremely impressive. As I've stated to all of you, the goal here is to peak at World Championships and not before. This is what Elaine Thompson did in Rio in 2016, which was absolutely brilliant, and the same thing that she did at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics last year, in 2021. She peaked at the time when it mattered the most, and that is what I think her entire team is aiming towards. They want to get her there, and I'm going to be honest with you, I am not even sure if Elaine Thompson Herah cares about winning this final. I am going to be very frank. I've said it in a previous video. She did not win last year. She came third in both 100 and 200 meters and went on to dominate the world. So I think and every interview she's given, she's basically said, I am only concentrating on one thing: World Championships, World Championships, World Championships. And she intends to win both gold in both World Championship titles in the 100 and 200 meters. So I'm not even sure if she wants to win later. I think she just wants to make sure she makes the team. Of course, that might disappoint some of you. However, as I said, boss lady, boss moving the heats. But of course, this is just my 2 cents. So let's take a quick look at some of your comments. Bishop Desmond Osazoa wrote, Elaine Thompson Herah is a legend. I agree. DJ wrote, training session, the best execution for the season. The great one himself, Van T. Williams, wrote, my only surprise would be if Elaine did not place first. No surprise. Well done, Elaine. The tougher the competition, the faster you run. But we will take the 10.83. Of course, this is referencing her recent 10.83 in her last race. Now, Royals, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, leave your comments. Remember, always, you are kings and queens. Bless up!